In the spring in Texas, every year, one thing you see is bluebonnets, but this year is an incredible year. It's the state flower of Texas. I'm sitting in a field of them right now, right on the edge of Lake Buchanan, a hill country lake that has just undergone a huge transformation. It's gone from being 25, 30 feet low all the way up to normal level. There's stuff in the water everywhere, bushes and grass, stuff that's not normally there. Our lakes in Texas are as healthy as I've ever seen in them. It ought to be a fun day. Thanks for joining us. This is Fishing and Hunting Texas.
From Mexico to Louisiana, the Red River down to the Laguna Madre, Texas is one big playground. Join professional bass fisherman and three-time FLW Angler of the Year, Clark Wendlandt, as he takes you on some of the best outdoor adventures the Lone Star State has to offer. This is Fishing and Hunting Texas.
You know, Lake Buchanan is as healthy as I've ever seen it. And when I say healthy, I'm not talking about how big and fat the fish are. What I'm really talking about is how the lake looks. The lake was down, say, 25, even 30 feet. And I mean, when you talk about cover growing up, I've fished Buchanan my whole life, not a lot, you know, one time a year, 2 times a year, something like that. And I've never seen it have cover like it has right now. It's got willows out to even 25 feet deep. And that's just something pretty amazing. You know, just everything about that lake is just incredible right now. It just says this is going to be an incredible bass fishery for a good while. You know, we're fishing today and it's bright sun. I mean, just really bright. And you think to yourself, you know, I've only done good on topwater early. Well, when you got really clear water, what we got here is just really clear water. A lot of times you can get fish to come up and hit topwater in that clear water. And you know, we've had 2 or 3 bites now. I think it may be even just gonna get a little bit better as the day goes on. You know, we started fishing that morning. I love throwing topwater. We're kind of mid to late spawn. It's the time of year you want to throw topwater. When you put your trolling motor down at 64, 65 degrees, that's the time they're going to start biting topwater. And so we start throwing a walking bait, Strike King Sexy Dog. The bait, as you work it, it actually goes back and forth in the water. You got to give it slack between each time you work it, but as it comes in, it's back and forth, back and forth. Now there's a bunch of different ways you can work it. You can work it really fast where it goes really fast through the water, or you can work it slow where it's twitch and then sit there. Back this way, sit there. Back this way, sit there. Either way, the way I fished it on Lake Buchanan is I wanted to cover a lot of water because there's so many bushes, there's so much grass and stuff flooded in the water. If you fish slow, you never get to figure out where those fish are. So we just put our trolling motor down and started burning the bank. I saw that one right there come out from the bush. It's not really very big. Fell off there. I mean, you know, it's a 13-inch fish. It's not a giant by any means, but man, I just saw him come sharking out there and I slowed it down. And a lot of times, if you slow it down like that, you know, I went back and forth 3 or 4 times and bam, he hammered it.
Located just west of Burnet, Texas, and maintained by the Lower Colorado River Authority, Lake Buchanan was the first in a chain of highland lakes formed to create hydroelectric power way back in 1939. Stay with us. There's a lot more fishing ahead from the beautiful Texas Hill Country. Coming up on Fishing and Hunting Texas with your host, Clark Wendlandt.
It's in our stomping grounds and our playground. It's in our sights and our commitment. It's in him, it wasn't them. and it will continue with her. It's in my nature. Is it in yours?
Let's get down to business. Quiet, you sons of fishes. Now, what?
I'm switching sonar.
Why?
Cause now I can see fish swimming live in front of my boat. I even see fish attack my lure. Y'all's sonar's just history. I'm out.
I'm with him.
Total performance. Nowhere could it be more defined than in the Ranger Z series. With unparalleled advancements, these rigs are driven to dominate. Coupled with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and up to 500 hours with no dealer schedule maintenance, they're the ultimate fishing machines. The legendary leadership of the Ranger Z500 series. It's the kind of feeling nothing else can touch. Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
There's two things between an angler and the fish, the sun and the bugs. Sawyer's line of sunscreens and bug sprays keep you focused on the fish. Sawyer's Stay Put sunscreen formula bonds with your skin for a more comfortable and better level protection. And picaridin insect repellent will only harm the bugs, never your fishing gear. Also, Sawyer permethrin repels and kills on contact over 55 species of insects. You're already outdoors. Sawyer keeps you there.
These are my Strike King S11s. Get your own.
Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you in part by Cabela's. It's in your nature. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. And by Garmin, the power of simple.
You know, the Highland Lakes are the group of lakes that I actually grew up on. You know, I really kind of cut my teeth on Lake Travis. I spent a lot of time on Lake Austin. Lake LBJ someplace in recent times that I've fished quite a bit. And Lake Buchanan was a place, you know, my dad went white bass fishing when he was a kid there. I mean, it's a place that I've always known of. I've always enjoyed spending time there. It's really pretty incredible. It's not, you know, it's kind of a rolling hills with jagged rock and lots of places with granite on it, and there's just no place I've ever seen that's like it.
That fish just ate it. What I did was there's a shade spot up under there, and I threw in that shade. Show you how he ate this thing. He totally bit it head first. Look at the bait. Strike King Sexy Dog. And what I did was, I didn't even get him way down in there. What I did was I actually, there was a little shade spot. You know, we're throwing topwater. It's getting up in the morning just a little bit. This is actually, we've had a couple other bites, but this is our first really good fish of the day. Good 2.5 pounder. The first bite we had was kind of up in behind a dock, you know, back in a pocket, back in a bay, around some docks. And, you know, I was thinking that was gonna work, but we went a long time after that bite before we really caught anything. And we got out on some flats and we started getting some bites. And you know, as time went on, you kind of started recognizing those fish are just gonna be around those bushes that are isolated out there by themselves. Most of the time they were in 4 to 6 foot. We fished that way most of the day. And then as time goes on that day, all of a sudden, I see a patch of bushes out
in the middle. I mean, you know, like in the middle of a big bay. We get out there, they're like in 20 foot of water, and I start working that bait around one, and one about 5 pound comes up and smashes it. Actually hits it 3 or 4 times, and I miss him every time. And you know, you would think 3 sets of trebles on there, all number 2 trebles, you'd hook that fish. But I couldn't hook that fish. I mean, I just basically missed him. That was what you call Moby right there. Cool. And that's one thing about topwater fishing. You're gonna miss some fish, but you know, it's the funnest bait to fish, no doubt about it. It catches big fish. I love throwing topwater. And I still, whoo, that was a giant. I mean a giant. He's right below it. Oh, you're right below it. You're right below it. God, he missed it. What happened right there is I'm working that bait. You know, we've been fishing kind of shallow, flat trees all day, and then all of a sudden we come out here and we're in 19 or 20 feet, and there's big trees out here. We've had 2 big ones hit, big ones. I mean big ones. I mean, smashed it. Oh, get in here. God, that was awesome. We have just got on a little wad and we got around this patch of trees. We've had 2 giants come up on it, another one at least 5, and that one's pretty close to 4. That's pretty awesome. They are going, I mean, there's just a ton there on these trees. They're on these patches that are farther out. We kept fishing up shallow where we'd get some bites, but they were just mostly small, started coming out here and kapoosh. I'm talking about big ones.
To find out more about the lures Clark is throwing, visit StrikeKing.com. Well, coming up, more topwater action from Lake Buchanan, right here on Fishing and Hunting Texas. Want to win a hog hunting trip? Americana Outdoors is offering a chance to win a free guided hog hunting trip at the Four Amigos Ranch in South Texas. This all-expense-paid hunting excursion will be filmed for Americana Outdoors, so be sure to sign up today for your chance to win at AmericanaOutdoors.com.
Experience High-Vis, a brighter sight picture than standard sights, giving you an immediate, more successful shooting performance. High-Vis lets you see a dramatic contrast between the target and the barrel for a more intuitive aim that delivers instant results. Our light pipes come in a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors, designed to be seen in a variety of conditions. With our broad line of sights, you'll see your marksmanship dramatically improve, bringing more fun and confidence into every shooting experience. Shoot more accurately. Enjoy the sport. Choose High-Vis.
Oh, nice shot.
You put the cool in life. We put the cool in coolers. Arctic ice.
Every day, your eyes are exposed to dust. debris, and wind. Only Wiley X removable gaskets block it all out, and your eyes remain safe. Wiley X, absolute premium protection for sportsmen.
Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you in part by Lucas Oil and Marine Products. It works. Arctic Ice. We put the cool in cooler. And by Grove Tech. Go hunt. We'll carry the gun. Fresh off the FLW tournament trail, here's Clark Wendlandt with the Verb Tournament Report.
Hey, one thing we've really enjoyed bringing you this year is the Garmin Verb Tournament Report. It talks a little bit about my success on the FLW Tour, kind of what I'm up to when I'm traveling. Just got through the third tour stop of the year on Beaver Lake, Arkansas. It's a highland reservoir. It's a lot like maybe Lake Travis in Texas. I've had a lot of success there. I really like that lake. I've won twice there. This week I had a great tournament. Was in 22nd place when I weighed in. Probably going to end up around 30, 35th. You got to be in the top 20 to fish after 2 days. I caught my fish on Strike King baits, caught them on a Strike KBD 1.5, also caught some on a Strike King finesse worm. You know, fishing was pretty good for beaver. And one thing I can tell you, one little tip is anytime you're fishing in the spring of the year, just be ready to change. Bass change on a dime. And if you're ready to change with them, just keep trying different things. You can catch a lot more fish. On our way to Texas right now to go turkey hunting.
Now back in the Texas Hill Country on Lake Buchanan, Clark dialed the fish in early, throwing a Strike King Sexy Dog. On a day when many anglers may have put the topwater away after the sun got up. Clark knows that on clear water fisheries like Buchanan, during the late spring, the topwater bite can last all day.
What I really love doing is when I see water that's that clear, I love throwing topwater because I know I can do something to activate him to bring him up. There's a lot of different classes of topwater. There's popping baits, there's prop baits, there's walking baits, there's buzz baits, there's frogs. You can fish a ton of different kind of topwater baits that will get you a bite.
It's so much fun right there. When you watch them like that, it's like fish in slow motion when they bite like that. They come up and it's like, you know, they're coming, and it's just like they're in slow motion. That is so much fun. You know, there's nothing like catching bass on topwater. Fish just came out of that bush right there. Hammered that thing. I thought he was bigger than he is, but oh, get up here. He's long. He's a post-spawn bass right here. I caught him on a Sexy Dog, which has really been the bait of choice today. And the real reason is you know, when you think about different topwaters, on this lake, there's so much cover. I want something I can fish fast. I want to cover water fast. So I don't want something that's just slow, bloop, bloop, bloop. I just love that clear water. That is so much fun. All I'm doing is just flying, covering water. And you know, fishing today has kind of been you know, I like to call it a puzzle, trying to put it together. And I've stayed with topwater because I just feel like it's the best chance to catch a good fish. That's not a giant, but it's a good one. I mean, if that fish would have been fat, you know, over 3.
Gosh, he's in that tree. That's a big old Kentucky. Get in here, dude. Oh, I'll show you this Kentucky. And I didn't mean Kentucky, I meant Guadalupe. That's a Guadalupe spotted bass. Now these bass aren't like the ones that you'd see in Kentucky, Alabama. I mean, it's a Guadalupe and they don't get that big. I mean, a 3-pounder is a giant. This one's probably a little over 2. That's a good one right there, really good. And we've had a lot of bites today. You know, we've had far more bites than we've caught, but topwater fishing, that's the way it's gonna be. That one actually missed the bait 3-4 times. I think there was probably 2 or 3 fish. One of them actually looked bigger, but hey, it doesn't matter to me. I caught that fish, that was great. You know, the amount of bait in Lake Buchanan is the thing that you really notice. There's shad everywhere. I mean, you see them on your depth finder, you see them flicking up out of the water. It's a great white bass and striper lake. Actually, that's really what it's known for. It's known as a great, you know, white bass and striper factory, but it's got an underrated bass fishery too. And I just enjoy going to places where people think, oh, we got to go white bass or striper fishing. Hey, I go there and catch some great bass.
Stay with us. Coming up, Clark will go over the gear and tackle that have made this day a success. Next on Fishing and Hunting Texas.
It's in our stomping grounds and our playground. It's in our sights and our commitment. It's in him, it was in them, and it will continue with her. It's in my nature. Is it in yours?
Let's get down to business. Quiet, you sons of fishes. Now, what?
I'm switching sonar.
Why?
Cause now I can see fish swimming live in front of my boat. I even see fish attack my lure. Y'all sonar's just history. I'm out.
I'm with him.
There's 2 things between an angler and the fish, the sun and the bugs. Sawyer's line of sunscreens and bug sprays keep you focused on the fish. Sawyer's Stay Put sunscreen formula bonds with your skin for a more comfortable and better level protection. And picaridin insect repellent will only harm the bugs, never your fishing gear. Also, Sawyer permethrin repels and kills on contact over 55 species of insects. You're already outdoors. Sawyer keeps you there.
These are my Strike King S11s. Get your own.
Win a red fishing trip for 2 in Venice, Louisiana with Americana Outdoors staff member Cody Levy. Fly into New Orleans for a 1-day guided trip out of the world-famous Venice Fishing Lodge for a day of fighting bull redfish. The fishing excursion for 2 will take place in August of 2016 and will be filmed for future episodes of Americana Outdoors. So sign up today at americanaaoutdoors.com. Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you in part by Strike King Lure Company and Optics, Sawyer, we keep you outdoors, and by americanaaoutdoors.com. Welcome back to Lake Buchanan in central Texas. It's late spring, and although most fish are in post-spawn, if you look closely, you might find a fish or 2 still up shallow, just waiting to be caught.
That's sight fishing 101. You're gonna miss a few fish.
That's just the way, nature of it. He bit it. I'm going along, I'm fishing all kinds of scattered bushes, stuff in the water, and I just look down and there's a big old, you know, not a big fish, but a fish on a bed. And maybe I can catch it. I can, I think. Get in here, dude. That's a pretty nice, healthy fish right there. Strike King tube, and you know, all I'm doing right now is just paying attention. I'm not looking, you know, just for fish on beds, but that one happened to be on one right there. Man, that water is so clear. That's some clear water right there. I love when it's clear like that. You can throw top water, you can see your bait, and you can see the fish. It just makes it fun.
And now, we'll check in with the Cabela's tackle box.
Hey, I want to talk just a little bit about my tackle setup at Lake Buchanan. You know, we caught those fish all on topwater. This is a Strike King Sexy Dog. It's a bait that actually walks back and forth. If you watch me work that thing, I work it just real rhythmically. You know, you got to give it slack every time. Every time you pop it, you basically give it slack. It's an easy bait to work. It comes with great hooks on it. A lot of different colors. There's a smaller model also, but I actually was throwing the bigger one for this application. As far as my line setup, I talked about it a little bit, but I like to use braided line, 20, 30, 40 pound test, and then actually have a monofilament leader. I tie a blood knot and have about 6 foot of mono on there. That way the whole day I don't ever have to retie that. I can just retie the bait and that leader will get shorter and shorter, but I can do it that way all day. And then as far as the rod and reel goes, you know, the rod and reel is critical in topwater fishing. And the reason is because when you work that bait, it can't wear you out all day. If you have a big cumbersome rod, it's gonna wear your forearm out because you're constantly twitching, constantly twitching. This is a Tournament ZX jerkbait and topwater rod. It's a light rod, it's got a perfect tip, you can cast it really well, and when you work it, basically it works that bait just to perfection. That's a big part of working topwater. As far as the reel goes, I was throwing a Verano, Cabela's Verano reel. I like a faster gear ratio, 7-to-1. And that was my setup. We had a fun day. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you get the opportunity, go check out our website, like us on our Facebook page. Let us know where you'd like to see us go all around this great state. We'd love to hear from you.
Hey, a big thanks to our sponsors for helping to make this week's show happen. And thanks to those of you that have made Fishing and Hunting Texas one of the longest running outdoor shows on television.